Welcome to your source for research, innovation, news, insights, and commentary. Research Business Daily Report, sponsored today and this week by 4i, the leader in insights and analytics transformation. We want to thank Ben Smithy for pointing us to Napkin Labs co-founder and CEO Riley Gibson, who wrote on fastcocreate.com that Steve Jobs was wrong when he believed that there was no sense in relying on consumers for new product ideas. Gibson proclaimed that brands, quote, must champion a decision to cultivate and catalyze their most creative customers. The smartest people, he continued, are most likely outside the company, and by cultivating communities, brands can accelerate their pace of innovation while lowering risk and investment into ideas that have no roots in real consumer needs, end of quote. Continuing his discourse, Gibson suggested innovation teams think beyond their next product and start thinking about how they can create more open products that can be adapted and improved over time. And he backed that claim with the fact that developers have relied on APIs and open source software for years to boost their pace of innovation. According to Gibson, consumer product companies can mimic these more open systems. His final thought was that a new product innovator should adopt, quote, every idea, hack reinvention of a product, end of quote, plus crowdsource for idea generation. And together, he said, those can help activate social networks jumping in to help the process. Next, last week, Decipher announced it has identified 5 steps to enhance the use of sliders in a research project. Decipher President Kristin Luck got back to us instantaneously when we asked her to put those 5 on record here on RBDR.
So the cool thing about sliders is they're great not only for making fine distinctions between items. So for instance, in a 5-point scale, they really allow for a better distinction between items like agree slightly and agree strongly. But they're also really great at representing scales with a large range of values. So for example, specifying price ranges rather than entering in an exact number in a text box. So the first thing that we advise clients is to really think about your starting values. So starting at a particular value, even starting at a 0, can actually bias your survey results. Secondly, we really advise people to think about ergonomics and think about the sample frame and the population that you're surveying. Certain groups, particularly the extremely young or extremely old respondents, can have issues with fine motor skills and may have problems making subtle slider adjustments. This is really important to remember too on mobile devices. Thirdly, we really advise to avoid the use of imagery to indicate points on a scale. For instance, using smiley face scales to indicate satisfaction or dissatisfaction. We all know that dissatisfaction is not the same as sadness, and so that may encourage more extreme values in your research. And then lastly, we really advise people to think about formatting and consistency and to keep those top of mind. Make sure that the slider fits on a single screen, so that it works both vertically and horizontally. And then be consistent. Even if you're using a short slider or a long slider, if you're labeling all the scale points or if you're labeling just some of them, make sure you're keeping the same approach throughout your entire survey to ensure consistency. I'm Kristin Luck, and my 2 minutes are up.
Finally, before we close shop, I sent a message to all of you viewers last week via various social networks recommending that you all go out and buy a copy of that day's New York Times. There was a special section in the paper on big data that you should still obtain in hard copy or access via a digital subscription. It presents a variety of important big data case histories. All of them are worth your consideration. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by 4i, the leader in insights and analytics transformation. 4i invites you to subscribe to its free newsletter to learn about successes in the burgeoning fields of insight transformation, growth, and foresight analytics. Check out the link beneath this video and view the newsletter for yourself. Have a great research day, and we'll look to see you all again tomorrow.